Hi, my name is Jeremy, and in this video I'm going to walk through the design and configuration of a small office network using Cisco Packet Tracer. I designed the network for maximum simplicity and resilience using HSRP for gateway redundancy, OSPF for internal dynamic routing, and BGP to simulate an external peer connection. The VLANs will be logically separated, the wired and wireless users for better security and broadcast control. Trunking between switches and routers will allow multiple VLANs to pass through a single physical network. So we can go ahead and dive in. So to begin, I'm going to place all the network devices for this typology that we need. So we're going to go ahead and be using 2 routers. Now I'm going to be wiring the layer 3 and layer 2 links using just copper straight through cables. We're going to take router 1, GI0/0. We're going to take that to switch 1, GI0/1. We're going to take router 2, GI0/0 to switch 2, GI0/1. Now we're going to connect the routers, GI0/1 to GI0/1 on router 2, and that's the P2P link for OSPF and BGP. As we continue forward, we're going to connect our switch, fast Ethernet port 0/1, Ethernet 0, same thing on port 2, FA0/1, that's Ethernet 0. Now port 2, switch number 1, we'll come into Ethernet 1 on our wireless access point. And really fast, I'm just going to rename these. For this small office network, we're going to start with router 1, which is going to handle DHCP and act as the HSRP primary gateway and pair with router 2 via OSPF and BGP. So first, let's go ahead, open up our terminal for router 1. And we're going to set the host name, and I'm going to disable DNS lookup to speed up the CLI. Now I'm going to set up the trunk interface for VLANs 10 and 20. So each VLAN is going to get a sub interface with an IP and HSRP for redundancy. And I have some IPs here as well. VLAN 1. Subnet. For HSRP. I'll shut down. Left that in. So this is going to ensure that the client always has reliable default gateway even if the router goes offline. That's what we're doing right here. So now I'm going to configure the point-to-point link to router 2 on GI0/1, and we're going to use that for OSPF and BGP. Now I'm going to enable OSPF for internal routing. Now I'm going to configure BGP to simulate an external WAN pair, and router 2 is in a different AS. Finally, I'm going to configure DHCP pools for both VLANs. So DHCP is centralized on router 1. I created the pools for VLAN 10, and now I'm going to do 20 with the default router pointing to the HSRP VIPs, not physical IPs. To ensure, the continuity, we're going to configure router 2, and this one is going to act as the HSRP standby and is also running OSPF and BGP. I'm just going to go through this. So now on switch 1, we're going to configure the VLANs and assign the trunk and access ports. I'm going to do no negotiate so that the access ports are explicitly assigned to VLANs, and this is going to avoid any ambiguity in traffic classification. So on switch 2, it's the same structure, the trunk VLAN, the trunk link to router 2 and access ports 4. So now we're going to configure the wireless access point. Static. Assign the IP. So now we're going to validate the config using show commands. So on router 1, I'm going to verify the interface status, HSRP, OSPF, neighbors, and BGP pairing. So now we see GI 0/0.10 and .20 are both up with IPs of 192.168.10.1 and 192.168.20.1. GI 0/1 is up with IP 10.0.0.1. Then, so here we see that VLANs 10 and 20 groups are active. VIPs 192.168.10.254 and 192.168.20.254. The state is active and it's priority 110. So the neighbor with router 2 being 2.2.2.2 ID on graphic interface 0/1. The state is full/DR or backup BDR. So we see the neighbor is 10.0.0.2 AS 65,6,502. The state is established, and the uptime shows it stable. Now we're just going to run some pings on the IPs. We're going to verify standby state interfaces and routing. So GI 0/0.10 and 20 are both up, and .10 and .20 are up. We're seeing the IPs. Graphic interface 0/1 is up with the IP of 10.0.0.2. Go ahead and show stand. So the VIPs match router 1. Let's go ahead and show. So we see the state is established. Let's just run this ping. What's going on? There we go. So we can see that VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 both exist. It's on fastport 0/1 and FA 0/2 for the wireless. access point. So GI 0/1 is trunking is connected, and FA 0/1 and FA 0/2 are also connected. Now we're going to check our PCs. We're in our range and gateway.